Hi everyone! Stroganoff is a Russian dish that's real popular in my native country of Brazil. Years ago, I created my own version of it and it's one of my favorite dishes, so I couldn't wait to share it with you. Traditionally served with rice and shoestring potatoes, together they make a perfect, delicious meal. Here's how I make it. I like to use chicken tenderloin for this recipe. I start by trimming off the tendon and anything else I don't want to eat from it. I purchased a couple of trays and I have a total of 10 chicken tenderloins here, but feel free to use a couple of chicken breasts if that's what you prefer. I cut them into bite-sized pieces and place them into a 2.5 quart glass bowl. I season it very well with ground black pepper, which is optional, and to taste, 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce, and if you don't have it at home, you may replace it with soy sauce, which is just as good here. Then I mince 5 large garlic cloves. And just like with my spaghetti meat sauce recipe, this is a very important ingredient. Then I add 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, 1 tablespoon of onion powder, and 2 tablespoons of all-purpose seasoning. The link is in the description. I mix it up a little bit, and when everything is well incorporated, I add 2 heaping tablespoons of fat-free mayonnaise, which is totally optional. I use it not only for its flavor, but also because mayonnaise is a great binder in recipes. I cover it up, and since I'm going to use it in just a few minutes, I set it aside. Next up, I grate half of a large yellow onion and reserve it. I place my 11-inch saute pan on medium heat and melt 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter. Once melted, I add the onion. I love grated onion in dishes that are creamy. I don't cook the onion completely at this point, only for about a minute. I add the chicken and stir the two together until the chicken is thoroughly cooked. But halfway there, I noticed that the pan was a little dry, so I added 1 more tablespoon of butter. And in goes a drained 4.5-ounce jar of sliced mushrooms, and stir it well to combine. Any brand will do, so I just use the store brand. I start adding the creamy ingredients, and the first one is a 1/2 cup of ketchup. It's important to stir the ingredients for a few seconds after each addition to infuse the flavors well into the dish. Then I add 1/3 cup of yellow mustard. If you're enjoying this video so far, like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Thank you. And in goes a 7.6-ounce can of Nestle's table cream. If you're not familiar with it, here it is. And you can find it next to the cans of evaporated milk. Table cream is common in Brazilian cuisine. It's widely used in savory dishes and desserts. I add 1 cup of sour cream that contributes with the richness, creaminess, and flavor of any stroganoff recipe. I boil 1 cup of water in the microwave using a Pyrex measuring cup. I dissolve 1 large chicken bouillon in it. I add 1/2 cup, mix well, taste the sauce for salt, and add the other half if not too salty. And finally, 1 tablespoon of white granulated sugar, which I add to break the acidity from some of the other ingredients. I turn off the heat, cover the pan, and go make the rice. I start by peeling and chopping 3 small carrots, which are optional. Carrots go well in here, but you may replace it with anything you like. This rice is similar to the one I make for my Brazilian beans. I will put a link of that video at the end of this one. I place my medium-sized saucepan on low-medium heat for about 1 minute, add 3 tablespoons of canola oil and the chopped carrots. At this point, you may also add a small chopped yellow onion and 3 large grated garlic cloves if you wish. I washed 1.5 cups of jasmine rice, let it dry for a bit, and added to the pan. I fried the rice for a couple of minutes until the translucent grains become whiter and smaller. At the request of my awesome viewers, this is my favorite brand of rice. Add 1.25 cups of filtered water, unsalted chicken stock, or unsalted chicken broth. After stirring well, add salt to taste and stir it some more until the salt dissolves. When the water starts boiling, cover the pan, lower the heat, and let it cook for 12 to 15 minutes or until the rice looks cooked on top and there is no more water accumulated at the bottom of the pan. And since the carrots stay on top after cooked, I mix the rice and carrots together. Cover the pan and keep it off heat until ready to plate it. This meal is absolutely delicious, and I suggest you try it. Stroganoff is one of those dishes that the longer it sits, the better it tastes. To make it look pretty, I like to get a few tablespoons of rice and put it in a small round container. I press it down and flip it over on the plate. Stroganoff also goes well with shoestring potatoes. The crunch adds to this creamy, delicious dish. This is the brand that I like. Stroganoff goes great with a salad as well. It can easily feed a family of 4 or 5, but it's hard to not go for seconds. So if you want to feed a large family, I suggest you double the recipe. And as always, the written recipe is in the description of the video. Bon appetite! This dish made the house smell so good. And I don't mean to brag or anything, but this is the best stroganoff I've had anywhere. Hands down. The garlic comes through nicely. It doesn't overpower the dish. The shoestring potatoes tie everything together. Hey, maybe that's why it's called shoestring potatoes. It's just a perfect little trio. And it's also great with the most popular soda in Brazil, Guaraná. Awesome, very delicious. I hope you try this, really do. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Very good.